Hello and welcome to the second in our Session Zero series with some of our fine young actors we have here.
Young?
That is debatable. Today I am with the fantastic, the inimitable Ben Welford. Hiya, Ben.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm very well, Elliot. How are you?
Yeah, I can't complain. Can't complain.
Good.
So what we're going to be doing here is we're going to be doing a little bit of backstory for Ben's character, where they've been, what they want, where they're going, so that when you come along to our next show, you'll be able to have all of the backstory and know exactly what Ben's character wants. Does that sound good, Ben?
That sounds grand to me.
Amazing.
Absolutely.
It's just going to be a little short adventure, an amuse-bouche, if you will.
An amuse-bouche?
Yeah.
Oh, darling, you talk so flowery to me.
So without further ado, let's begin. Our adventure takes place in a valley, in a town called Crystal Wells, a lumber mill town deep in the valley, surrounded by dark and bramble-filled forests. It's basically a ramshackle collection of huts, barns and the odd drinking hall. Despite its very fancy name, Crystal Wells, it's actually a relatively new town and hasn't got too much going for it. The entire commerce is based on chopping down trees and sending it on to the bigger cities. And tonight we find ourselves on a dark winter night, with the dark closing in, eager to extinguish all light in the village. Fat water droplets rain down from a black sky. And this is where we find your character, Ben. Can you please tell us your character's name and describe them for us?
Certainly. So before you stands Jasper Castor. And he's a human, about 55. He's got a beard. It's generally black, but salt and pepper flecks throughout. Same with his hair. It's sort of short back and sides, again, sort of salt and pepper throughout. But he's actually on the left side of his face, from about his cheek upwards, has this burn scar. That's there. He's sort of 6 foot, and he sort of holds himself with his chest out. He wears sort of just a tunic, really, but underneath his chainmail. But the chainmail's sort of like a little dirty and rusty. It's there to do a job and nothing else. And his colours are very sort of that. They're browns. It's all just, as we do. But he does have around his neck a pendant, and it's a dark green sort of jade-esque stone. It's the face of a woman, but over her face are 2 palms. That's his patron. And he often holds it when he thinks and things like that.
Fantastic. Well, Jasper, you have found yourself in the town of Crystal Wells on the orders of the temple of the Green Maiden, the goddess which you as a cleric are devoted to. The town has come down with a terrible sleeping sickness. It has burnt through the entirety of Crystal Wells, and no one really knows where it's come from or why this is happening. And the elders of the Temple of the Green Maiden have called on you, a cleric who is known for looking after people in the surrounding countryside, who often escorts caravans to and fro. It's been suggested that maybe it might help if you went to Crystal Wells and had a look around to see what was causing it and what help you could lend. And you've been told to look for one person in particular. You've been told to look for a man called Pinkleworth. Pinkleworth.
First name, or is that just...
That's all you've got to go on.
Right. Well...
So you find yourself at the centre of Crystal Wells, the village, the rain hitting hard down. What would you like to do?
Right, well, I'm very new to this town, I'd assume.
You've literally just kind of wandered in on this dark night.
There's not a little board, is there, that has like town map, and go over and have a look. Like in Pokemon or something like that. And go over and be like, anything like that?
Maybe. Give me an investigation check.
All right, here we go. 18. It's a 17 on the dice and a +1.
Great. So you head into the centre of town and you've got two signs in front of you. One says Crystal Wells, population 115. But the kind of, classically some of the letters of Crystal Wells have fallen off. So it says like Crystal Wills. And then the other sign has a really rough kind of like wooden hand pointing in one direction. And it says drinking hall.
Right. Well, I think the drinking hall is a good place to get information because I'm not aware that there's a temple or a little shrine here, am I? No, there's none of that.
No.
So I will absolutely head to a drinking hall because as much as I don't like the drink,
Yep.
partial to one maybe, but I shall go to the drinking hall to see if I can gather information.
Of course. It's very easy to find. It's the biggest building in the entirety of Crystal Wells. It's more like a barn. There's a very slight hubbub coming from the inside of it. You head in and, although you say you don't really deal with the drink, you've been in drinking halls before. They're usually very raucous, rambunctious places. This one's very subdued. There's only one or two patrons and there's a fire slowly dying in the hearth. A man comes up to you, humanoid, kind of same as you, salt and pepper hair, kind of a couple of scars going down his face, all of his skin very tanned and weather beaten. Are you Jasper Castor?
Oh, well, aye. I'll be he. And you are?
He puts his palm out to meet you. The name's Pinkleworth.
Ah, Pinkleworth, and I grab his hand.
Well met.
Ah, well met, sir. And I was told to come find you, actually.
From the temple of the Green Maiden, yeah?
Yeah, from the Temple of the Green Maiden. I hear you have a sleeping sickness falling on the town, and you need some help.
My God, it's terrible.
Aye.
It's burning through us like fire through a wheat field.
Right. And where did it start? If you have that knowledge.
Hard to say. Many of us came down with it almost instantaneously. It starts with people feeling very lethargic, tired, their muscles waste away, and then they fall into a deep sleep that eventually takes the soul as well.
Okay. So it definitely kills.
Definitely, yeah.
Right. Well, I reckon... Do you know the first family who suffered? Is it on record? Do you have a healer, basic healer in the town?
We have no such healer here. At that point, the doors swing open and a female human comes in, probably in her late 40s, her makeup streaming down her face. My daughter's gone.
She's gone as...
She's gone. And she kind of runs over to Pinkleworth and grabs him by his coat. Pinkleworth, you've got to help. She's gone.
Well, when did you last see her? My name is Jasper Castor.
She looks to you, her eyes are wild. She's on the edge at the moment.
I thought you were going to say on drugs. I'm joking.
Maybe that too. Yeah, she looks to you. Says, I just left her in the hut and she's gone.
Right, well, I think we should go to the hut immediately. Your family are not suffering from the sleeping sickness, are they?
No, thank goodness they're not.
That is good. That is good to know. That is a relief. Pinkleworth, do you want to go?
Yes, sir. I'll accompany you.
All right, let's go then.
Lead
madam.
on.
Your name is?
They call me Esmeralda. Oh,
Esmeralda.
I just did it in Pinkleworth's voice.
Oh, don't worry. You got a low voice,
Yeah.
Esmeralda.
They call me Esmeralda.
Right.
And she kind of leads you out of the hall, kind of... Sorry about that, my voice goes really low sometimes when I get scared.
No, don't worry. I thought you might have had the sickness. That is why I asked.
The three of you move through the muddy roads in Crystal Wells until eventually you get to a hut at the edge of the village just by the forest.
And when did you notice that she'd gone missing?
About 10 minutes ago.
Right. Can I do a quick? Can I do a quick sweep around the perimeter? Are there any sort of footprints, any markers, anything like that that might show a trail?
All right. Can you give me an investigation check, please?
Certainly can, dear friend. Oh, and that's 17 on the dice, 18.
Amazing. So you're kind of doing that thing in Lord of the Rings where Aragorn looks to the floor and basically tells the entire story of what happened a couple of hours ago.
Yeah.
You see some footprints that are definitely child size. Some rough hewn wooden toys kind of laying about. The marks on the floor then lead to the forest. However, it doesn't look like there's been a struggle. It looks like this child has just walked into the forest.
Your child looks like they have gone willingly, from what I can see on the tracks. What's your child's name?
While this has been happening as well, Pinkleworth has now got some men of the village
Right.
together, and they have torches
Yes.
and weapons and axes kind of waiting at his command to kind of see what they should be doing next. She was called Faye.
Faye. All right, Faye. Just it's good to know so we can call it out. What does she look like?
She's only 5. She wouldn't hurt a fly. She's got lovely red hair and freckles.
Pinkleworth, that's what a man would say, though. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, well, it doesn't look like a struggle, which is always a positive. But Pinkleworth, if you wish to come with me, we can have a look. And one of your men with a torch, I think. But if we send a lot, we might scare whatever has found her or taken her.
You think something has found her?
I think there's got to be a reason she has gone off into the forest.
Oh my goodness, first the sleeping sickness and now the children are being taken.
Yeah, well, one problem at a time, and this looks like it can be solved sooner. So this is our priority, Pinkleworth. Sorry, I have a problem with names.
He points to some of the guys and kind of directs them off to the other end of the forest, and one stays with the group that you've now got here. Lead on, Jasper.
Thank you, Pinkleworth. Right, and we shall go off into the forest.
Into the woods. When you get into the forest, are you kind of, I won't say moving aimlessly, but are you trying to track or just kind of...
Trying to track as best as possible, because that's that and sort of listening.
All right.
Is it dark, you said?
It's dark, it's pitch black at the moment, and the rain's still coming down.
What I will do is I will swing my shield round so it's on my arm, so if
Okay.
anything does jump out at me, I'm ready for it, the little bastards.
All right. As you move through this dark forest, the light of the torch held by one of Pinkleworth's men just illuminating a couple of feet in front of you, it casts a kind of terrifying shadow with all of these branches. Can you give me a nature check, please?
Certainly can. That's a 13 on the dice for a 14.
All right. Now that you're up and close with the trees of this forest, you notice that this is a very old forest. Very old. The trees have got such dark, kind of muddy bark on them, and some of the roots go out so far. This is an incredibly old forest, and it's kind of disappointing to see that, especially for where you are in the forest right now, for every tree that still stands, there is a tree that you can see that has been hewn down, and a kind of rotten stump just remains.
This is an old forest, Pinkleworth. Yes?
It is, yes.
Yes. You can tell, you can almost taste it. You know what I mean? It's there.
I can't say I do, Master Jasper. I just chop them down.
Right. Well, I fear that might be one of the problems you have, Pinkleworth. See, the Green Maiden is all about life and nature, but nature can be cruel, And if you upset a balance, it will bring something to correct it. And the rate at which it seems you are taking these trees down, it would not surprise me if a spirit of nature has decided to take revenge.
Come now, good cleric. You can't be saying that the trees have come into life and stealing our children.
You'd be surprised what trees will do when they are angry. And
Maybe don't say that to us all when we're in the middle of a forest at night, because
I'm a realist, Pinkworth. I'm a realist. It's how I get on with things.
Fantastic. You carry on through the forest. You're in the very heart of it now. Trees snag at your clothes. Well, I should say they snag at everyone else's clothes. For some reason, the trees, it's almost like as you move through them, they kind of part to let you pass through. Amazing. Let's say you were tracking, weren't you?
Yeah.
Just give me another... in fact, for this one, let's call it a survival.
Of course, as I'm going through, I just want to be muttering a little prayer to the Green Maiden.
All right.
You know, as you do. Oh, God, rolling bloody well. So that's a 17 on the dice, and you said...
Survival.
Survival.
Yeah.
That's a dirty 20.
Oh, amazing. You're almost kind of pacing through the forest now, picking up on little muddy tracks and the way the wind is blowing and what sounds are being carried through the forest. And you hear a child just kind of talking in kind of a very low...
Shh. You hear that? Pinkworth.
What? I can't hear anything.
Shh. It's a child's voice. What direction did you say?
Probably about northwest from your position.
Let us move slowly. And whatever you do, don't hurt any trees. Just got a feeling, all right?
The torchbearer that you've brought with you has the torch in one hand and has kind of just got the hand on the weapon. He's shaking quite a lot.
Try not to show your fear, lad. They'll sense it. Bloody hell.
You move slowly through the forest, northwest, following this sound.
As I'm going, Green Maiden, I am in your domain. I ask for your protection. Green Maiden, I am in your domain. I ask for your protection.
Just at that moment, you just hear like a sound of kind of wood falling, a little slight scream, and the torch that was being held behind you goes out.
Shit. I have a torch myself, but I am aware that probably flame is not the way to go. But I don't have dark vision, so I am blind. Because I'm a human,
Yeah.
Elliot. I'm a bloody human. Right.
The trees kind of groan around you. Pinkleworth kind of goes, "Is everyone all right?" And he kind of turns to look at his man, and his man's not there anymore.
Just don't panic, Pinkleworth. I'd like to say I have a plan. I don't.
From the chanting that you've been doing, Green Maiden, please protect me. You just feel kind of a hand reach into yours and pull you in a particular direction. It's not like a yank, it's almost like a soft. This way, Jasper.
Pinkleworth, follow me.
This is getting right bloody scary now.
Yep.
And this invisible hand follows you deeper and deeper and takes you deeper into the forest, and eventually through the trees a kind of amber and green light emerges, and the sound of this child that you could hear grows louder and closer and closer, and you get to a little clearing, and whereas the rest of the wood is dark and sodden wet with the rain and kind of gnarled and primeval, you've now got to a little kind of clearing that is really bright and green and lovely and well lit. And there is a small child
Fair.
Fair, with red hair, with a creature that looks like a human. Can you give me a nature check, please?
Certainly can. Oh, that's not bad. Nature, 15 for a 16.
All right, great stuff. As soon as you get into the clearing and you see the kind of the effect that this creature is having on the nearby wood, you look at it and you realise exactly what it is. This female humanoid with green skin and kind of roots twirling around her arms and hair that goes back like the colour of wheat and freshly cut grass. This is a dryad. A creature of the Fey realm, almost a protector or a spirit of the trees.
Hello there. Do not fright.
It turns and looks at you, and kind of its lovely kind of feminine form, kind of as she snarls, it just kind of stretches and looks quite scary.
Calm, calm. I mean no harm. Oh, that rhymed. All right. Look, I am not from Crystal Well, and I see and feel that you maybe have a gripe with them, but I am not here for that. I understand your plight. To take one of their young, I get it, when they have killed so many of your ancient trees. I understand. We do not mean to fight or harm. Do you understand me?
What languages do you speak?
The languages I speak are Celestial, Common, and Elvish.
All right. Which are you speaking in common then?
I guess I would start in Common, but I would, once I ascertain that it's Dryad, I might flip to Elvish because I know they're of a fair nature.
Yeah. So when you start that speech and it's in the common, the kind of the face is unreadable. She's just kind of trying to suss you out visually. And as soon as you go into Elvish, her head tilts and she kind of reads your expression and you can tell that there's a shared understanding there. Can you give me a persuasion check, please?
I can. We'll see if it... Oh, 18 on the dice for an 18.
All right. Fantastic. I think that'll do it. Her mouth doesn't move, but she speaks directly into your thoughts and says, "My name is Rysand. I protect this forest. And I did not steal away this child. She merely got lost among my roots and branches.
And I beg your forgiveness for such a suggestion that you would steal. I mean not to offend. I only mean to take the child back."
Pinkleworth kind of comes into the clearing now and says, "Is this the one that's been
Stop,
causing the...
Pinkleworth. Hold your bloody horses, lad. Yes.
He kind of puts an arm down and kind of stands up straight. "Is this the one that's been causing the sleeping sickness?"
We haven't got to that yet. Rysand, you are a powerful creature. I'm aware of that. We both are, aren't we, Pinkleworth?
He kind of... Yeah, very, very powerful. The powerfulest.
Exactly. There is a sickness that has descended on the town. A sleeping sickness ending in ultimately the perishing of the humans. Are you aware of this?
She kind of gives a wry smile and into your head directly translates to you. "I am not just aware of it. I put it onto the wind to punish these humans for invading the forest and cutting down my friends."
Understandable. I get it. What can we agree to?
Pinkleworth's kind of right behind you now. He's like, "What's she saying?" No one's talking, you're just both staring at each other.
Well, I mean, she is the cause of it, but that does not mean we strike her down, right? We have to negotiate. She is a fair creature, a dryad. Pinkworth, do you know what a dryad is?
I've got absolutely no... You lost me at fair, to be honest.
Exactly.
I thought that was the name of the child that went
No.
missing.
Oh, actually, it is, to be fair. You're not wrong. That's quite confusing. It's fair, I imagine, with an E. A-Y-E for the little girl. It's just fair with a E-Y for the... Anyway. Pinkleworth, go to school. Right. I'm going to try and negotiate, okay? He says, knowing that he's not a good negotiator. Look, Rysand, this town is here, and it is humans, and they will continue to cut down trees. But, can we come to an arrangement? Is there something that they can only cut down so many, or do you need them all to move? You are talking to a type of people who do not necessarily understand your position.
She looks to the floor and then looks back to you. Can you give me another persuasion check, please? You're going to need to beat a 12.
Oh, wow, it was nearly a 4 and then it flipped to 18. Thank you, dice. It's also, for the listeners, it's actually like a green and gold dice, like autumn leaves.
Oh,
Look at
that's
that,
lovely.
isn't it?
Very nice.
Yeah, so thank you, nature.
Yeah.
So that's an 8 straight 18
right.
there.
You feel the wood around you close in, and the light that has was in this grove flicker and disappear. And for a second, you feel Pinkleworth kind of get his weapon ready, and even you, for half a second, kind of go, "This might go very fucking wrong."
It might be on.
The dryad disappears, and from the tree closest to you, kind of the tree opens up, and she appears out of it. I have protected these woods for hundreds of years. I know the ways of men and their folly. I do not want to see all of the wood cut down. So I propose terms.
Willing to listen to your terms.
There is a section of woodland not too far south from here. All of the trees are lost to the blight, but it is good, solid wood for whatever the humans wish to use it for, burning or building. I will allow the cutting of that section.
Right.
In return for the protection of the young saplings, so that they might grow.
Of course. May I also ask, in those terms, can there be a section of the wood reserved for dogging? I'm joking, obviously not. They just have dogs that they like to walk. And they will need places to walk, these dogs.
Yes, and I too need a place to have sex while being watched.
What's that called?
Dogging.
Is it?
Yes. She says the Elvish. In Elvish it is dogha.
Well, I didn't know that.
Pinkleworth is just what the bloody hell's going on?
She likes dogging. Anyway, I think we've come to a negotiation. There is a part of the wood that suffers with blight, and she is fine for you to use that, but only that. I think if you encroach upon her space, the sickness will come again. May I ask, can you put down stone boundaries so that they are aware of where this is and they cannot encroach?
I mean, I feel like that'd be a job for them to do.
Yeah, but you know what humans are like.
Well, how about if they encroach onto my territory, they'll get eaten by the trees. That's probably a good way for them to realise where's in the good and where's in the bad.
Yeah, I mean, I don't live here, so yeah, handshake, go on. Yeah,
and she kind of shakes your hand. Pinkleworth comes in and kind of breaks up the handshake. Whoa, I haven't said whether I agree with this or not yet.
Right, can you talk to her?
No, I can't. I don't speak whatever. I don't speak wood.
So I fail to see how you can talk to her.
This is a growing town, you know. Crystal Wells needs the forest to be cut down so we can use it to build.
I hear you, but there will not be a Crystal Wells if you continue to take from the forest. What would you like? Maybe another year of being able to do what you do and make some money? Or would you like to be sustainable? And would you like to live for 100 years? Do you know what? Maybe change up your portfolio. Why don't you do some bloody farming or something like that? Don't do all wood. Did you learn nothing at business school, Pinkleworth? With a name like that, I bloody would have thought you had.
Can you give me a persuasion check, please, with advantage? Because I just absolutely loved that rant.
Oh, thank God for the advantage. With advantage, a 17 on the dice for a persuasion.
Yeah.
17.
Amazing. Pinkleworth kind of looks at his feet, kind of not happy that he's been caught out with the fact he doesn't know the full ways of business. And the sleeping sickness will all go.
Back to her in Elvish. And the sleeping sickness will go?
The sleeping sickness will go.
Back to him in human. The sleeping sickness will go.
And also, can we have Mando back, please?
Apparently, you've took someone else called Mando.
Who's Mando?
Mando? Who's Mando?
Mando was the fellow who had the torch who disappeared.
Oh, Mando was the lad who had the torch.
Oh, the lad who had the torch.
Yeah, he's got a brother, Lorien. He'd really like to be back.
Mandalorian, very good, I like it.
Sorry.
Another tree just by you opens up, and this guy who had the lantern who disappeared just falls out of it.
Oh,
there you go.
Well, that's very kind of you. Thank you. See, they didn't eat him. I thought they had. So we're already one up.
And we can have the kid back as well. She's not going to like
I think
eat
we
the
can
kid.
have. I think we can have the kid back. Can we have the child? We're taking her as well, aren't we?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, great.
You can have the
Just
child.
it wasn't
Yes,
stated.
yes.
So
Okay.
Fair. Would you come here? You need to go see your mum.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Are you taking me to Mum?
We are going to take you to your mum.
I got lost in the forest and this nice lady found me.
Well, what we've learnt is you are a lucky little girl, because sometimes when people go off a-wandering in the forest, they don't always come back.
Can you give me an intimidation check, please?
I'm teaching her a life lesson. It's a natural one. She doesn't believe me. I said it with a smile.
I go into the forest all the time
Well, you're very
to
lucky.
do my dark deeds.
Not dogging. Surely not dogging.
Never mind.
You will protect the child if she ever comes into the forest.
Yes, of course, I'll protect the child.
You're okay.
Pinkleworth kind of goes, well, this has been lots of excitement. Should we head back to Crystal Wells and reunite the terrified child with the grieving mother?
She's not terrified. I'm terrified of her. I looked into her eyes, Pinkleworth. Something not right with her.
Right, well, we'll probably get to that another day, eh?
Whilst we're on the way back, though,
Yeah.
when I get Pinkleworth's ear, I'll go, I do think if you created a shrine to the Green Maiden, she might afford you some protection. Maybe set up a temple or a church. Small as it is, I'm not asking much, but
Listen, mate,
protects
we
you.
don't like it when people throw religion
no.
down our throats.
But you called on a religious man to save you.
Yeah.
Right,
We'll-
two-faced,
right,
aren't you?
we'll-
Right, it's
we'll-
fine.
we'll-
Look,
No, we'll do a shrine. We'll do a shrine. It's
thank
fine.
you.
It's fine.
I see what I say.
Yeah,
and
and you say what you see.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well,
So-
soon you'll see a shrine.
Thank you. And the shrine I shall see.
Yes. You head back into Crystal Wells. The rain's still beating down on the dark night. Esmeralda comes out of her hut as soon as she sees the party return, looks straight to Faye. Oh, my child, and just picks her up and kind of flings her around in a big hug. Well, yeah, we got all that sorted, and it's all thanks to Jasper here.
You are welcome. It was a mistake, really, between the city of Crystal Well and the spirits of the forest. So I think we've calmed it out. She's a very lucky lady, is Faye.
And we won't be chopping down any of the nice trees, only the bad ones.
Only the bad ones.
Well, I mean, how can we ever repay you, Jasper?
Actually, Pinkworth said he would make a shrine to the Green Maiden if you just make sure that is safe and is well kept and there is a bit of faith going to her. I would be happy. And maybe his bed and board as well.
Everyone is kind of in agreement that, okay, yeah, that's like the second thing on the list to do now.
What's the first?
No one's saying.
No one knows.
Might be dogging.
Could be dogging.
Pinkworth kind of comes over to you. Well, what's next for you, Jasper?
Well, I will return to my order and get new instructions, but I have a calling to help. And if you think there is somewhere else that might need me, I'm more than willing to go. Any city, any town, village, hamlet. I'm not bothered.
Well, actually, in the drinking hall, we do have an adventure board that has lots of jobs on. Maybe some will require a cleric of your power. Maybe you
Sounds
should
good.
go and have a look.
I will.
And you kind of go with Pinkworth off to the drinking hall to see what jobs are on this adventures wanted board that maybe take your fancy for Jasper to go off and help more people.
Brilliant.
And we'll leave the adventure there.
Oh, brilliant.
Fantastic.
That was great.
I love Jasper. He's
Oh.
just like salt of the earth, isn't he?
Yeah, that's exactly what he is. He's just like, there we are, lads. Let's get on with it.
Well,
Boys and girls.
thank you for coming on that little session 0 with me.
Thank you for putting that session 0 out. It
Yeah.
was great.
We'll be having more of these with the rest of the cast very soon. And in the meantime, we do have some more show dates to tell our listeners about. We'll be on at Riverside Studios in Hammersmith in London on the 1st of November. We'll also be on the 4th of December. And then we'll be on at the 17th of January. Slightly different cast every show, different adventure. So yeah, if you'd like to come along, it's a amazing little improvised, interactive D&D adventure. So that's goodbye from me, Elliot Reeves-Giblin.
And it's goodbye from me, Ben Welford.
Like the two Ronnies.
I know, bloody hell. Do you know what I mean? Oh, also, don't forget to like and subscribe on all social media platforms. Thank you.